I think it would boost the morale a little bit. It would have to be say, okay, this is. I remember back in the day when we were doing this to this song or whatever, you know, and it takes them back for a minute and takes them out of that war zone and that era. What's going to happen the next second?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have my brother. So different now. And again, we tend to forget about these guys. I see them in airports all the time. These guys that are either on their way overseas and even if they're just local, even if they're just in the States or they're somewhere else. I mean, they're still away from home, and they're still away from what. Yeah, and I think anything that we can do to make them just give them that little sense of, hey, we know you're there. And we appreciate what you're doing for us, and we know we'd all be speaking different languages if you hadn't done what you've already done, and but I remember my brother was in the Air Force during Vietnam, which obviously was not a very popular war here, and he went to his high school reunion dressed in his uniform, and people spit on him.
I've heard that story a lot.
And then he came home from Desert Storm, the first one in the 90s, and he total reversal, and they, was looked at like a hero, and
these guys are heroes because I mean, what I guess the kind of message I've always tried to give to people is, the ultimate is these folks could die at any second.
Any second.
And if they're putting their life on the line for so many of us they've never ever met and probably never will meet, that isn't everybody. Not everybody can do that. Is what I'm trying to say. But I wish we could all have served at least 12 months in the military. I think it would make a better person out of each and every one of them. And I'm getting probably a little bit political here on this, but I want to say this much. I think some of the young guns that are 17, 18 years old that's got in trouble with the law, I believe the biggest punishment they could be is to make them go into boot camp and put them in the military to serve their country. I believe it would change their lives if they didn't die in the line of duty, and if they did, they would die as a hero in one sense, but the other sense, they would learn a great value of life and what life is really about and how to overcome what they've brought on themselves so far.
Oh, without a doubt, and I think even to take that a step further, just so that they learn some self-discipline, they get some self-respect, that they're taught that, and they realize that the whole world doesn't revolve around them. That it's a team of people. Well,
they learn family value because they would be a military family then.
Without a doubt. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And I just, I got to tell you, I had an interview this morning, and somebody asked me about the most rewarding gig that I ever did. What was the best one? Was it a small thing? Was it a big thing? I said, I'll be honest with you, and even now, even talking about it, I still get goosebumps from it. But I did a gig 2 years ago. I opened for Dirk Bentley out at 29 Palms Marine Base in California.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome, and it was. There were 8,000 to 10,000 Marines there, Marines and Navy personnel, and they were half of these guys and women were either had just come back from Iran or Iraq, the other half were on their way, and they do this annual thing there, and it's I forget what the title of the event is, but it's in honor of the Marines there. And when I closed my set, I had a band with me, and when we closed the set, we sang, we did a cover song. We did Lee Greenwood's "Proud to Be an American."
Oh, man.
And I got to tell you, man,
you got some tears.
Oh my God! Every one of those people stood up. They all took their hats off, and they're all singing along and waving back and forth. And I got to tell you, even now, it gives me goosebumps.
Oh, yeah,
these guys, I'm telling you, it was awesome. And just to do that little contribution to give these guys that, there's no amount of money you could ever pay to get that kind of a feeling, or you just couldn't. I actually was in Walgreens. Oh, this is before Christmas, right before Christmas, as a matter of fact. I don't know, just picking something up, and there was a woman in there, and she probably had 10 blankets, those kind of fleece blankets, lightweight things. And I said, geez, you must be giving those as gifts. She said, I'm sending them to the troops. And she said, every time they have them on sale, I come in here and I can buy twice as many as I normally would. And once a month, she goes in there and she buys these things and she sends them to the troops. Just because, not that she has no family members in the troops, she has no connection other than she's an American. And she wants to do anything she can to contribute to these guys, to their well-being. And it's like, what a cool thing. I thought,
And we need more people like that. I mean, times are tough for all of us, but folks, the American troops have never given up on us, and we as Americans shall never give up on our troops.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
Well, Mark, I know we're pushed for time today, buddy. Thank you so much for coming up. It's finally glad to meet you
really nice to meet you.
personally. Folks, y'all stay tuned. Coming up here in just a moment, you open my eyes right here on the Freebird Show, only on AFB Radio.
Blinded by years of confusion, wandering around in the dark, moments of brief consolation, a prisoner of my own heart, searching myself for an answer, looking for help from above, not knowing who I could turn to, where I should look to find love. You opened my eyes, I couldn't see all of this beauty surrounding me. An answer to prayer, you came along, showed me the way, righted the wrongs. You gave me wings and taught me to fly, you set me free. You opened my eyes. I still remember the moments your love lifted the veil, blue skies and sunny tomorrows replaced what was cloudy and pale. I never thought for a moment this point in life I would find everything I'd ever dreamed of was waiting right there all the time. You opened my eyes, I couldn't see all of this beauty surrounding me. An answer to prayer, you came along, showed me the way, righted the wrongs. You gave me wings and taught me to fly, you set me free. You opened my eyes. Price that was paid for the choices I've made and for foolishly standing alone, stumbling around not knowing up from down till I heard your voice calling me home. You opened my eyes, I couldn't see all of this beauty surrounding me. An answer to prayer, you came along, showed me the way, righted the wrongs. You gave me wings and taught me to fly, you set me free. You opened my eyes. You opened my eyes.